Yo, Gemini, how you doing? I'm excited to see you. I just get such a big smile on my face when I get to talk to my beautiful Gemini brothers and sisters. How's it going, guys? Crazy month in January, huh? I'm Chris, by the way. Welcome to your January reading. This month I'm doing monthly readings. It's just been a little more manageable that way. Crazy holiday season, huh? But yo, like, Gemini, remember we've been talking about for months how like this Capricorn and Saturn and Capricorn has been kind of scaring me? I don't know about you guys, but like it's been doing wonders for my life, right? Not only that, we have so many planets in Capricorn this month. We have the sun, we have a new moon in Capricorn, we have Venus in Capricorn, we have Saturn in Capricorn, we have Pluto in Capricorn. So that Capricorn energy is coming hard at us, right? But we started off this month with a Cancer full moon. Okay. Nine of Swords as our central situation. Not most exciting to see, but it kind of makes sense. What I was just gonna say is we started off this month with the Cancer full moon in our house of like work and money and finances, right? So what this is saying to me, Gemini, is that there's some concern still, right? Maybe about those things in particular. I know for me personally, it's like I've been on my game. Things have been improving, but they're not there yet, right? It's almost like when you're on an upswing, right? Like you feel the momentum of you moving upwards, but you're still kind of here, where there's still concerns about money, and there's still concerns about bills, and there's still concerns about work and like the direction of your career, right? So we're starting off here with some worry. That Cancer full moon, I mean, it hit me hard in the feels. Talk about like just things coming out of my subconscious, right? Like I literally had nightmares for nights on end. So I want to say, that we are talking about career and finances, right? Because also later in the month we have an eclipse in Leo. And then we have the new moon in Capricorn, and we have all this stuff happening that's really pointing Gemini towards your profession, right? Like what you do, what you make, like where your career goals are. And I think there's a lot of concern here about that. But also like that's astrologically speaking, just intuitively looking at this card, I feel like there's also a lot of anxiety about relationships. And not just like your romantic relationships. I feel like there's some anxiety here about friends. There's some anxiety here about where you fit in to social circles, right? This is also like if you're dating somebody, like maybe some uncertainty about how they feel about you. Like I'll tell you personally, I'm seeing someone right now and it's going really well. And things are moving in the right direction, Taurus. But I'm not gonna lie, like that relationship hasn't put me here quite a bit this month, right? I literally got a little teary-eyed the other day. But also I want to say like as much as there's this like sense of Capricorn grounding and strength and like organization and status, like I think Gemini's still feeling some anxiety about those things. I think we're still feeling like a lack of security about those things. So let's see what else we have coming out here, right? Because I just peeked at when I was talking to you guys, you might have seen the bottom of the deck flash there. I think it was the Four of Wands, which is really promising. It kind of shows to me, like, even though we're in this place, like, underlying it all, where we're going is like a nice place of comfort, of like good feelings, of like security in ourselves and security in like how we feel, about how we feel in our relationships, about how we feel in our jobs, in our money, in our finances. So again, I want to emphasize, it's like we're coming out of this bad place, but I do think that there's still, the Tower. Like, so we were worried about something real here, guys? Yeah. Is there some real uncertainty? Yeah. Is there some real fear? Yeah. Fear about losing someone you care about, a relationship you care about? Fear about like maybe losing a job? Right? That's what this is saying to me. But also, what I want to say about the tower, it also is one of the times that the tower feels like an upset in a good way. Right? Where it's like something that wasn't right for you fell apart and like it hurt and it sucks, but it's kind of for the better. You know, maybe this is just like dissatisfaction with like a job situation or like a relationship situation or friendships. Maybe you're seeing like your dynamics with people change. Is it for the better? I don't know. We'll see what else the cards say, but I feel like I just feel different. Right? I feel like this could also just be a lifestyle change. This could be like the realization that like, wow, I need to fucking make some changes. I need to like start. This just happened with the cancer video, like my loud ass neighbors. That's what happens when it's 80 degrees in LA. Everyone's out acting the fool in January. But this could also be like transformational lifestyle changes, right? It doesn't have to be super negative. And we'll see what other cards come out here. If my demeanor is a little off, it's because I really wasn't expecting this, right? Because I've been feeling so good. I'm like 2 weeks into a dry January, which honestly has been moments where it's kind of boring, you know, where there's a struggle where I don't quite know how to socialize the same way. But ultimately, like the most productive thing I've ever done for myself in my life. Okay, right? The Wheel of Fortune. So remember what I was just saying about how like this doesn't feel as bad as the tower usually feels to me? Because look what comes next. Remember what I was just saying about transformation for the better? The Wheel of Fortune. Things starting to fall into place. This is like that upswing I was talking about. Right? Like not out of the woods yet, but like you can feel things changing for Gemini in major ways. Major ways. Right? That's why I said change in lifestyle, right? Because it could be like, for me, I was spending way too much money drinking, going out partying. I was kind of doing it because I wasn't like the happiest person, I think. Right? Just blowing money, blowing time. All these things I wanted to accomplish just going on the back burner. And I'm so happy the Wheel of Fortune came out because I was just saying like, oh, I don't feel like it was bad. I don't feel like the changes I've been making have been bad, like tower bad. And the Wheel of Fortune kind of softens that blow for me. It's saying things are changing, but way for the better. Right? And this isn't like, I think the tower coming out instead of death, for instance, for change was like the right kind of card here because it wasn't like starting new. It's kind of like just starting over. Being a new person, almost like taking on a new identity. Right? Like being empowered. Like sometimes the tower is like you have this vision and you're like aware of something and it rocks your whole world. But this time I feel like it's like the Gemini intellect, the knowing of what's best for you, of what changes you need to make. Like it's almost like you're shining. Like right now looking at this, it's almost like this isn't Gemini falling out of the tower. This is like toxicity that's been in our lives. This is like the fuck boys and the fuck girls and like the fake friends. Right now the tower is like, here's Gemini illuminated, aware. Right? So, kind of tired of being here. Sick of it. Sick of being worried about money, sick about being worried about like your social circle. And saying, no, I'm going to open up my life to a new way. I'm going to be different. I'm going to make changes. And then what better sign could you get that like changes are coming, and like positive changes in all areas, in your health, in your finances, in your relationships, in your friendships, in your home, everything. I just feel like everything is changing this month. You might not see it, but I think that like the wheel is starting to turn. Right? It's not like everything's going to be manifested right away, but it's starting to turn. You can definitely perceive the changes. I think maybe people in your life are able to say like, hey, temperance. Hey, like I see like you being better. I see the positive things that you're doing in your life. And we have temperance. So 3 majors so far, like big start to the new year. Right? Like this is going to be a year where like I think Gemini's life is going to change in a way that like maybe wasn't not expected, but that is totally going to be a different way of life than we're used to. Right? Like shocking change where everything that you're used to is gone. Right? And it's sort of like that adjustment when you like move somewhere new, or you like get out of a relationship, or you make new friends where it's like weird and uncomfortable, but like here we go, like balance. All the elements of your life, like this is also like a culmination, I feel like, of lessons that you've gone through in the last year, taking like a form, taking like not just being something that you can tell yourself you learn from, but where you start to see tangible differences, where you start to really like make real, concrete, tangible steps towards a new way of being, towards a new life, towards a new way of acting towards your people around you. Even if that's not like being like meaner or like nicer, it's more like what I want to say is like recognizing things for the way they are. Recognizing who your friends are, recognizing who like the important people are, and investing in those things. Like temperance, I always say, is like the word I hear most associated with the word temper is like steel. When you heat steel and you beat it into shape, and then you dip it in cold water for it to solidify, for it to become hard. That's what I feel like is the stage that Gemini is in right now. That stage where all the lessons, all the hardships start to take on meaning. Right? Like this anxiety starts to be meaningful because it's pointing you in the right direction, in a direction that is truer, that is more honest, that is going to ultimately lead to your fortune and your success. Like wealth in every definition of the word, wealth in your relationships, emotional wealth, like mental wealth. Like I feel like intellectually strong for Gemini, right? Like this month I've been reading more than I've read in a long time. Been watching the news more than I have in a long time. On every level, Gemini is getting better, is getting stronger. Growing. Growth, Gemini. That's what I want to say. Like, growth is happening. And it might be happening like really fast. So fast that like the people around you might be saying like, who the fuck are you? Who is this person? Maybe I'm projecting a little bit for myself, but like that's what people have been saying to me. They're like, I'm so proud of you. Like, who are you? Who is this new person? Just from cutting out drinking for a couple of weeks, I've gotten to work on time. I'm more disciplined with my routines, right? I'm not spending money like I used to. And people are literally saying to me, like, who is this person? I feel like if you're like me and you're in this situation, like that could be happening for you. Right? I'm not just like projecting my own life examples, but this is like what looking at these cards is reminding me of. It's sort of like cool that in a way like that this reading happened a little later in the month, because now I can look back on things that have already happened and like it makes sense in this context, right? This card was, no, it wasn't, it was the Four of Wands. And then look, like Gemini, the last card of the basis, we have the Six of Wands. Victory, like just killing it, killing the game. I really feel like by the end of the month, you're gonna feel like a new person. You're gonna feel like what I was just saying about, you know, all the things you've been through taking on meaning. Like leading to success, leading to growth. And that's gonna become evident. Right? Like the Six of Wands is like public success. Like these people are cheering him on in this big stadium. Right? It's public success, it's public victory, it's recognition of all the great work you've been doing, of the sacrifices you've been making, right? Of like, you're gonna not feel like by the end of the month like you're here anymore. Like there's never a time where, you know, financial worries completely go away or relationship worries completely go away, but to get to a point where you're not here in this anguish, this is good. It's like this, the start of 2018 is like a reset for Gemini. That's what the Tower is, right? It's like a reset. It's like saying, I don't really like the way things have been going, so let me make some changes and like start over in a way. You can't ever like truly start completely over, but you know, on a new path, with a new attitude, with a new you know, outlook. So let's pull two path cards here. So far, Gemini, good. Good shit. I'm proud of you. I really am. You know, like, I just feel like Gemini has this, like, really great, beautiful, lighthearted spirit. I think we've talked about that. And, like, how maybe it's been bogged down. When Gemini doesn't feel good, they don't shine. Right? So two, really, I'm starting to think differently about these pathway cards sometimes, because like look at here, we have the Emperor on the one hand, we have the Six of Pentacles. Like power and charity. Which one do you want to pursue? How do you choose, right? How do you choose between somebody who is self-actualized and independent and in their strength and like making the best of things and like, remember what I said about tangible results? Like the Emperor is like the personification of tangible results. He is like the city embodied, right? Growing out of the dirt, growing out of the concrete. And then the Six of Pentacles, right? Like stability in your finances, balance, harmony, right? Like being in such a good place that you can kind of like give to others more freely. These cards are both to me right now about like giving, right? About giving because you have a lot to give. Because you've been working for it. It's not just, I'm not saying like giving people handouts. I'm saying about sharing yourself, sharing your experience, sharing your wisdom, sharing like the balance and security you've worked so hard for. Right? But I am going to say one caveat here with the Emperor. Don't let this turn you into a tyrant. And I'm saying that kind of like metaphorically speaking, but it's easy to get hard, it's easy to get cold when you've been like in this place so long, right? Geminis, I know something I do when I get upset is like I kind of detach from people. Right? Like someone upsets me and I'm like, I don't need to associate with you, I'm not talking to you. You're not a real friend to me, like, and then next time I know like they just didn't see me or something, that's why they didn't say hi or something, you know? The one caveat I will say with these two cards is like, with the Six of Pentacles, if we're looking for a better choice here, this is like staying open. This is being secure, being stable in yourself. Right? These are both about being stable and secure in yourself. And I'm not going to try to twist the Emperor into a negative interpretation here. But to me right now, the Six of Pentacles just feels more open-hearted. It feels warmer. It feels more loving. It feels like artistic creative. Right? Where this is like building creative, this is kind of more artistic creative. Like when your heart is open. When you're like in your feels in a good way. When you're emotionally grounded. Right? So again, not saying one is better than the other. But, find the balance here in Capricorn season between like your external power and like your security and your finances and your like material security. Right? Don't like they're not one or the other here. They kind of go hand in hand. But you can also see how like this isn't all encompassing in a bigger way. Like this is maybe just like a period of your life, but this is like that growth. Right? So in your pursuit of money and success and all this stuff, like don't forget like there's also about your identity and who you are and like your own individual power. And like doing well for yourself. And maybe not always like focusing so much on what you can give to other people. Right? Being like your own powerful leader. But also again, like the caveat I want to say is like be careful about dryness. Be careful about becoming like too rigid. Right? Like don't forget like you can still have fun. Right? That's what we do, Gemini. We have fun. Don't become so serious that you stop having fun. Also be careful about like confrontational attitudes or hostility. Right? Because the Emperor's Aries. Keep your aggression in check. Right? I'm speaking to myself and maybe some of you guys, like, keep your aggression in check. Don't lash out at people. Don't be quick to snap at people. Don't be quick to get into fights. All right, so first outcome card, the Ten of Wands. I kind of like that right now, right? But keep in mind, again, like there's this sense of balance here. There's this sense of like use the hardships to your advantage, but like only to the point where it's still an advantage. When it becomes a burden, when it becomes like you're breaking your own back, when it becomes like you're so rigid and serious that like you're not enjoying yourself, pull back a little bit. But the Ten of Wands, so far as the outcome card, is promising. This is, I was talking in the beginning about astrologically, Gemini, it's time to work. It's time to take a hold of your responsibilities and like make things happen. Right now is the time to do that. Right now is the time to maybe sacrifice a little of the fun, put the pressure on yourself so that like the year to come is like a lot more enjoyable. So that by the time it's our birthday month, like we have all of our ducks in a row. So we can afford to take that trip we want to take. So we can like, I don't know, whatever. I still want to focus on money, like afford to do things. That you feel in a place where like you can have love, where you can have a relationship. Maybe it doesn't mean you're not with somebody right now, but like where you really get to feel like the romance, where you really get to like enjoy the intimacy. Like we're talking about trips, like maybe taking a trip with someone you care about. Right? So far, like there's this push and pull between like things that are coming that are really good, but also like sacrifice and responsibility that's necessary. All right, so next outcome card, we have the Princess of Pentacles. What did I say about getting our money right, focusing your career, right? Like really becoming clear about your dreams and your professional pursuits and like chasing them, like with the Princess of Pentacles and then also the Knight of Wands, right? This is just somebody who doesn't believe that they can fail, right? These two cards, like they're going in the same direction and they're arrogant, but in a positive way, where they believe in themselves and they believe in what they're capable of, right? Like the Knight of, like these two cards together, especially individually, I feel this way about them, but especially together, this is someone who just like believes in themselves so hard, it's like almost willful ignorance. Like, I can't fail. What do you mean? Failure is not an option. How could I fail? I'm the prince, I'm the princess. I have all this power available to me. Right? Also, maybe if you have earth sign or fire signs in your life that might play into. Also, this is telling me about Leo at the end of the month, right? Like, again, what I said about the end of the month, things are going to become noticeable. You're going to notice your progress. You're going to feel it. Because you've been chasing your dreams here. Gemini is chasing our dreams. We're going hard for our careers. We're going hard for our professions. We're going hard for our dreams. We're taking them seriously this month. Can't stop, won't stop, Gemini. Bottom of the deck, Justice. This just came up for Cancer. You know, what this is saying to me is like we're on our paths. We did course correcting. Like whatever was causing this was like not feeling yourself, like not being on your right path. And now we're there. Now we're aligning ourselves. Right? We're doing like the spine adjustment thing, like alignment. That's what I'm saying. We're aligning with like our goals, with our passions, with our dreams, like what we've been working for, right? All the things we've been telling ourselves that we want to, we're making them happen. And we're setting the tone for the rest of the year. We're setting the tone, fuck that, we're setting the tone for the rest of Saturn and Capricorn. Where karma, justice is karma. Justice is about what you work for is paying off. The things we set in motion this month, Gemini, are going to start paying off for the rest of the year. I can feel that. This month is a tone-setting month. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the cards real quick. I told Cancer the same thing. Like, I don't know if this is helpful, like seeing the cards upside down. I kind of hold them all up for you as I go. But some people like to see them, so I'm just going to point the camera down real quick for a second so you guys can see what we're looking at here. Also, it's like upside down, so I don't really know if that's really helpful. But like you see, there's a lot of majors here, right? This is from my Palo Santo. I'm not smoking. A lot of majors here. Look at this like energy, this drive with the princess and the prince. And just like power. I feel like no matter what, like this month is leaning towards Gemini being empowered, Gemini like climbing the social ladder, right? And your work and your home life and your finances, and becoming like balanced and secure. Right? Cool, Gemini. But again, like, don't forget there's work, right? It's not going to be the easiest thing, right? We're still kind of in this place of worry. That's not just going to go away like that. It's going to go away when we start to see the results, right? When we start to like take this new attitude about like nothing's going to stop us. Nothing's going to stop us at all. Okay. So pull some oracle cards and then you guys are on your way. In the comments also, I mean, I love it when you guys like, subscribe, and share. Like, I also have links for personal readings. That's because people have been asking about them and they've been fun to do. But really, it ultimately means more to build this channel up and like get a solid community here and solid resources and make these videos and this channel the best it can be. And like subscribing, liking, commenting, like that's really what this is all about. If you want a personal reading, great. But it's really more about like creating this community in the house of light and shadow. Really building like, you know, a place for people to come. Like spiritually minded people to have like a sanctuary. A place for of resources where we can communicate, right? And interact. So we have the mountain. Beautiful. Gemini is like disciplined. Gemini is like what we've been saying here, moving towards in like tangible ways. Like self-leadership, what I just said about discipline with the lion, Gemini is leading ourselves. We are taking control. We're taking control of our own destiny. We're manifesting our own fate. Right? with clear-headedness, with discipline, with concern. Oh, I'm just going to pull this out here because last month we got this card. And then right underneath justice was the Three of Swords in reverse. And then under that, judgment. Right? So the reason I call this out is like, remember what I said about moving out of this place? Like, all this heaviness we've been feeling is like passing. Right? With judgment, it's like waking up to a new life. All this heaviness is passing. All this anguish and restlessness and anxiety is going to become a thing of the past because we are taking control of our destinies and of ourselves. This is self-leadership. This is willpower. This is determination. Right? This is Gemini really getting serious about our futures, getting really serious about our destinies. And then last but not least, Otter. Like, how can Gemini be a Gemini without friendships, without community? What I was just talking about with like this channel, right? How I want this to become ultimately a community. But also I feel maybe if Gemini hasn't felt like very close to people, maybe if you felt from some distance from people, whether family, friendships, relationships, like this to me is an indication of like feeling that sense of warmth, of closeness to others in January. Right? Not feeling so like missing that other twin. Getting real sustenance from the people in our lives. Right? This is like really, really strong here, guys. Really positive outlook. It's serious, but I like that the Otter here kind of ended the reading on like this lesson of this note of lightheartedness. Right? Like going from here to here. Otters are known for like playfulness, for being fun. All right, guys? So have your fun. You know, be serious, but like put off the fun a little bit. You know, but like don't become a hermit. Really promising things here, Gemini. Really like good, strong sense of like strength and power. Right? Strength and power. Leadership, discipline. Focus, drive, ambition. Ooh, that's sexy, right? Sexy ass Geminis. All right, guys, I love you. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those good things. Follow me on Instagram. The link there is below. And Gemini, you're precious, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're a model. And I will talk to you guys in February. All right, I hope you have a great rest of January. Adios, muchachos.